Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, the Smiths in the Black, the Strat Time Report, and they're starting out another ugly start to the week here. So you can see here, this SPY taking out last month's lows. And remember, these 3 months, right, a sideways consolidation, and we're below that. That's an issue. The best thing I can say here is that we are going into lower lows. So potentially you can try and go back up. Here's your broadening formation on the weekly we've known about. Now it's trying to expand it, right? So that's a problem, right? So we want to, if we're going back higher, you'd want to have a reversal on the day tomorrow or retake the opening of today, which we are not doing as of right now. If we go to QQQ and QQQ, also having some problems here. The outside weak to the downside. So that was triangle them out, broadening formation here, the higher high, the reversal, and now continuation. So also taking out 3 months of lows and all this kind of stuff. Still having real problems here. If we go back to our 60s, you'll see we have an outside 60, right? And here was that broadening formation here, now trying to expand, right? And so that's what will happen. You chop them up in here and potentially trying to break out of this. So if we go down to a fiver, you'll see this. Because you had the outside 60, you have your lower low, your higher high, and there's your lower level broadening formation on the 5-minute basis, which is that outside bar on the 60. How do you get outside of this for the Qs and the SPY? Very similar. If you go to Dow Jones Diamonds, and Dow Jones Diamonds also trying Rev Strat month, right? Not weak enough to take that out yet, but it's brand new. But you can see here a little different. Green on the day, right? And so anytime you get those lower lows, you want to be aware that you're at exhaustion, that the seller's got to keep moving down because you already stopped everybody out. If you go to the small cappers still having all these months here and taking them out, still having some problems. Everything looking a little futury, which means these charts are looking fairly similar as of right now. So we'll see. We just got a new 60 start, and looks like they're still trying to firm up just a bit. What we have seen is XLP firming up here, trying to go for the outside day to the upside. And that's potentially good because if they're really going to take them down, they take all the sectors down at the same time. But we're not totally seeing that. So we're getting some rotation into some of those names. You got SJM here, and that's taken out. That's a 2-2 reversal on the week, stopping all these guys out in one shot and taking out the monthly highs because it looks like we're all going to be eating peanut butter and jelly here soon. So so far so good, a little grindy, but SJM staying firm. You got the diapers, KMB here, also taking just an inside day. Yep, inside day to the upside, going after this. And we'll see if we can get back above here. This 139.82 goes for the 222. The 2-2 reversal on the week, but we'll see. We backed off a little bit on that. If we go to Campbell Soup, looks like we're going to need some Campbell Soup. So if let's go to our 60 here, we'll see 2 up and then 2 down slightly by taking that out. Let me blow that up for you. Outside weak to the upside, which means this selling was getting rejected and is still getting rejected. And Campbell Soup been a little higher back in here, so we'll see how that goes. If we go to CHD, we know on the monthly basis it was trying to rev strat and comes down here, takes out this stuff, and then comes roaring back here today on an inside day on a Monday, right? And if that works, here you've got your outside weak, right? I mean, that selling was getting rejected, but 322 on the week here above this. For Little Country and Western, 98.46 after stop them all out down in here, and then new week, right back up. If we go to Big Lots, and Big Lots, once again, once you have those lower lows, if you don't stay there, 2-2 reversal back to previous range on the daily. Having a nice morning there, running back through. We'll see if that can strengthen enough to take this out. Above the week would be 33.23, and that would be a 2-2 reversal week for the Big Lots. We also got eBay, and eBay, just a little 2 down, 2 up day to start off the week. Still red on the month and slightly inside month to the downside, but starting off a new week, and you always have 3 new time frames every Monday. The weekly daily and the 60 start over again. So still handling inside week, but it looks like we're going to need to sell some stuff after this market. If we go to SWK, and SWK already an outside day, so that's good, but that's just your broadening formation, so it has to need to stay up here and keep going. But anything bright green on a day like today on this after this opening, something you want to know about. The market's stalling out just a little bit here on the new 60. Get back to that in a second. Amgen 2-2 on the week, 2 down, 2 up, and green on the month. So now everybody can say that. It was also here 2 down by taking out the lows on the day on Friday, and then boom, right back to the previous range. But for the rest of the week, if we can stay above this, 238.84 in good shape. If you go to GILD, 2 down, 2 up on a Monday here on the daily. You just stop all these guys out, so the question is going to be strong enough to take this week here, because you are still green on the month, albeit inside. Not everybody can say that though. If we get above this at 62.38 and stay up there right now, you can see GILD goes inside on the 60. We'll see how that resolves. Keeping an eye on these broader averages stalling out to see if they do those 5-minute triangles all the way back down. Charter, don't call it a comeback, but a 2-2 week, 2 down, 2 up. If we can hold above that, all right. 471.28. You're below that right now. We'll see what a difference a month makes. Remember how ugly it was last month, but now green on the month. We'll see. If we go to BNTX, and BNTX still a little stuck here on the weekly and the month, but you did go 2 down, 2 up, and once again you look for those. Always got to be aware of exhaustion risk here. Once they go down, they got to stay down, otherwise you come back through the range. Just kind of stalling out now. You can see no big deals there, so we'll see. If we go to Triple M been stuck forever. 3 months inside of this. But you do start off the week with a Rev Strat here. 1 inside bar, 2 down, 2 up. Right back through here, so we'll see how Post-it notes and Scotch tape does for the rest of the day. If we go to ENR, and ENR here, 2 up by taking out the highs, 2 down, 2-2 weekly reversal. Start off the week. 1 inside and up on the 60, now stalling off on the new 60. But also good that it's a 2 down, 2 up month. Right? You have a reversal month to the upside. You just took a lot of them out in one big shot. We'll see if that sets up again. Starting to lose this market again, but I'll get to that in a second. EPC, just another thing inside week to the upside. Rev Strat day, 1, 2, 2. So having a nice little one there. But let's get back to the selling here. If we go back to the SPY here, new 60 starts to come in. And excuse me, let me draw that QQQ. There you go, QQQ. So anytime you have those outside bars, you're going to be aware of that. All right. And now dropping back through here, so we still have some problems. I saw some profit taken in the energies today. XLE here hit magnitude by going into the highs, and now 2-2 reversal today. Still an inside week, so not the end of the world, but they are hitting some of these pretty hard. You got OIH, also the 3-1-2 back down, and you can see this broadening formation here. The higher highs and now the lower lows, right? So a little bit of exhaustion, but you are going after last week's lows for OIH, and XLE still has no lower lows on the month. OIH not as fortunate here, getting closer to taking that out and staying down there, so be aware of that. As I said at the beginning of the month, one things we want to be aware of is the inside months to the downside, because we got hit pretty hard last month, but we still had a lot of inside months. Now they're starting to take them out. If you go to Apple here, inside month to the downside below 155.38 still has my attention. You can see this broadening formation on the weekly. Still a little bit more to take these guys out. That would be a problem, and looking much like the Qs. 5-minute broadening formation now starting to come in. All right, how's a 15er looking? Outside 15 to the downside. Apple. If we go to Microsoft, and Microsoft not totally getting killed, but looking like similar, popping up and then coming back in. But once again, the inside month here, and all three of these months going sideways below these levels. So below here actually would be the mother bar of that inside bar below 270. Has my attention for Microsoft still. If you go to D-Dog, and D-Dog, all right, the 15er goes up, 2-2 reversal on the 15, trying to bring it back in. Once again, that inside month to the downside, all right? That's potentially an issue. These new 5 minutes are trying to firm up. You know, when you have volatility like we do, you know, you can stay on those shorter time frames because you can see here on the 5, you're getting as much motion in, you know, like you normally have in an hour, if not a day, in 5 minutes. So that's why you can stay on these shorter time frames. If that's not you, don't worry about it. You can wait for those longer term signals to set up. If you go to TTD and TTD, another inside month to the downside, right? And once again, like a lot of things here, rallying back, but we'll see how that these new 60s resolve. It's still starting to come in. If you go to SQ, and SQ, inside month to the downside, we want to see if you can stop all this stuff out and then stay down there. And it's been a rough one for SQ, but we'll stay on that. Once again, new 60s all looking somewhat like the futures here. We'll see if we get inside 60s here or not. If we go to Zscaler, and Zscaler, inside month to the downside, right? You got exhaustion risk by going into the recent lows. We know that. But it's still, the signal is still there, and it's been lower, so we'll see. Once again, like a lot of things, maybe we get our inside 60s as people kind of regroup here. If we go to CrowdStrike, and the 2-2 reversal month, 2 up, 2 down, and now these two became an outside bar of all that. So we'll see if that stays down. Once again, looking a lot similar like the futures over here. If we go to the Bitcoiners getting hit, Mister, and taking out these 3 months were inside this range, and they took it all out, right? So this is like an inside quarter getting taken out, and now just kind of sitting there like a lot of things in Coinbase. Oh boy, oh boy. And like I said, exhaustion risk by a lot of these things by going into recent lows. It's like we prefer things be coming through the range like this. And then this is the gravy part where it keeps going, right? You want to come back through that previous range so you stop people out. Then down into here, you just hope the sellers continue to step down, and so far they have. If you go to Tesla, inside week to the downside here. Right, and if that works, the 2-2 month, 2 up, 2 down, below this, 821.70. All right, so you're there right now, and we'll see if they get that inside 60. But now you're a reversal month for Tesla as well. Palo Alto we've known about for a while here. Still going, and that was a 2 up on the month by taking out the highs, and 2-2 reversal on the month and just getting destroyed here, and still going. But we'll see if it holds that inside 60 with all these other things. These futures still trying to drip toward these lows of the 60. We'll get back to that in a second. You got some pandemics also still coming down here. Brinker, EAT, 2 up, 2 down here for these to become an outside bar of that. Not too much left to take out, but that 32.29. We'll go down there and say how you doing. And here you get your higher high. And now we're just awaiting on the lower low. And if that works, inside month to the downside here, below 331. So 33.31. Boeing, still going. And these Momo shooters here, that's a 2 down. And then anybody who tried to bottom pick it up in here, boom, stopped out, and the sellers came back, and Boeing inside year to the downside. Now we'll see if you get the inside 60, if these things weaken even more. If you go to Wynn Resorts, like I said, more pandemics coming down. And down she goes, taking out last month's lows, not quite inside. LVS was inside week and month and down though here. So keep an eye on that. See if that gets us to the 60 over here. If we go to AMR, one of our powerhouses of the year, and like the energies, not the end of the world, still an inside week, but anytime you go into exhaustion risk, new highs, and then you come in new week, 2 up, 2 down, triangle layout. We'll see if there's anything more to it. But what that does do is it turns this month back red. If we go to AXNX, yeah, that's just a 2-2 reversal on the month. These two became an outside bar of that, and you can see here's your triangle layout, and then back to the previous range, and you can see how swiftly you can go back to the previous range. Exhaustion risk by going into recent lows, but certainly heavy on the day. If you go to NARI, and NARI just clobbered after the 3-2 day down here, right? And not quite an inside month. It was 2 down, but taking all these guys out in one shot, just having a tough time. It stayed inside 60, now trying to take that directionally down for the next hour. You got problems here below 53.82. If you go to Suave, SWAV, and 2 up by taking out the highs in the month, 2-2 reversal. These two become an outside bar of all that. Just some exhaustion risk, but also going inside 60 down here below 118.13. If we go back to that SPY, still dropping on that 60. And let's go back to that fiver. And all you want to do when you're drawing these things is make sure that from here to there is an outside bar of all this, because software is going to present things the way it wants, but we know that broadening formations exist, so we want to keep an eye on that. So here's what we're looking at on the fiver. How do you get out, take that out, or how do you take that out? Now that's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith, Smith of the Black, Strat's Ham Report.